When we think about love, the first thought that comes to mind is something romantic that resembles a happy couple in a healthy relationship where they care for each other. But after that, it's also as likely that you might say that love isn't just a happy couple. There's family, there are friends, and those small acts of kindness someone does, like helping an old man cross the road or giving stray cats some food without ulterior motives. These are actions that are done out of love. But what's also done out of love is something like scolding, breaking up, or way heavier actions that might look like the opposite of it, but ultimately defines in a very twisted way what love is. In this video, I want to explore how video games explore the theme of love beyond romance and how some still stand out as of nowadays. Please enjoy. I want to state first that all Weda games explore the theme of love all in their respective ways, but I think Wonder's journey still impresses me most because of how it encapsulates a lot of what I said in the introduction. Wonder is there to save Mono, a girl who died because of her cursed fate. In order to do so, he enters a forbidden land where our protagonist will have to kill the 16 colossi that inhabit it to save her. Whenever Wonder kills one, a melancholic cutscene of the giant creature falling begins, ending with a black energy getting into Wonder, who passes out and restarts in the same starting place. What we'll notice is that the more we progress through the story, the more we can see Wonder getting powerful, yet corrupted. We also notice that because of how the cutscenes unfold and how the protagonist changes, we're not doing any good to this land, which it is forbidden, and for a very good reason. Shadow of the Colossus wants us to show how destroying yourself and everything around you for someone's sake is ultimately selfish. Love is not necessarily, but can easily be, source of selfishness and destructiveness. Love is painful, and how you deal with the pain that comes with it shows the true colors of what person you are. Wonder chose to not listen to anyone but himself. Love is also an incredibly strong driving force. This is one of the best video games in terms of making you feel insignificant in front of such gigantic beings, yet you're the one who will be able to kill them all. With the remix release, a lot of people have experienced this game for the first time, and for who's watching the video, they might think I'll address one scene in particular. For how cathartic and important it is, I will not do that. Silent Hill 2 is a story of abuse, drama, depression, and hatred. James Sunderland received a letter from his dead wife saying she's waiting for him in Silent Hill. It is also a very twisted story on self-forgiveness and moving on, which is, by itself, a form of love. The first games are incredibly famous for their eerie atmosphere, and their whole design being you descending into insanity the more you dig into the roots of this town. James' character is actually very smart in retrospective. You might see him going through hell just for his wife, yet is at the same time escaping from the very truth. And that's because of this one person, Maria. Maria embodies a lot of similarities with Mary, his dead wife, and because of this, he bonds with her very quickly. One of the most invading feelings for James is guilt, and she represents many things, but especially a chance to redeem himself. Maybe he will be able to save her. Silent Hill 2 plays a lot on the border between reality and imagination, making it not only a masterclass in horror game design, but also one of the most appealing stories in terms of subtleties. It's not the dialogue and the music. It's how the places and the monsters surrounding Silent Hill are designed not only to be scary, but also to represent something related to the characters we know. Love is not only about caring for someone, but also being capable of forgiveness. The hardest person you'll ever be able to forgive is yourself, but if you don't do so, you will never move on and begin anew. Denying your bad side can only get you so far. Loving someone has always been a thing of accepting them for who they are. Because of how much or how little you actually know yourself, you get the actual reason it may be so hard. This is why James traverses hell and nightmare just for doing so. Undertale is one of the most influential indie games of the last decade, which had a lot of influences on its making, and love is one of its stronger themes. But what if I want to dig in the love theme? Not only in the characters or the choices you make, but the inspiration as well. What if I told you a lie and this section is not an Undertale, but rather on isolating the theme that got to make Undertale in the first place? What if I do isolate everything else? What comes out of it? Well, here it is. A team of developers who worked on great JRPGs united in a small, independent team, Love-de-Lic, and made one of the most beautiful yet still niche gaming experiences of all time. This is the pure definition of going against the norm, creating something that breaks all rules and becomes something entirely new. Yet what comes out of such a breakthrough kind of idea is charming. It's a quiet, chill, very sweet experience that touched the strings of a very young me who played Pokemon Diamond on his old DS for days, talking to random NPCs, thinking how do they spend their time when he's not there. JRPGs are games that have a huge history in video games, hence a lot of design choices are eradicated in RPG tradition. This is a game that wants you to explore a story that's not really yours. You're in an RPG world, but you're not the main character, just a part of the bunch. There's no fights, no epic adventure, it's all about you, the world and the characters inside it. And all that's left for you is to gather love. And how do you gather it? By capturing the spirits of the creature killed by the actual main character, helping the people who live their whole lives in a weak cycle, and so on. The more love you gather, the higher your level will be, and the more you can roam around the world without having to go to sleep. I'm not gonna spoil any of it, but the ending section is one of the biggest payoffs in my gaming career. Moon is not about specific good or bad side of love, it's love as a whole. Whatever the concept we have of it, this game shows that the world we live in is filled with it. That is love. This is love. And this is Solar. I hope you enjoyed the video and cut!